अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। हा देवी ककुवरु गदग्गया यत्पच्छ यच्छिनिपत्यभुवि दन्दवदुग्धधरति अस्य प्रसदमबुधस्य जनास्य कृत्वा गन्धर्विके निजगणे गणनं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam to my Śrīla Gurudev Om Vishnupada Stodra Sachi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Śrīla Gosvāmī Maharaj, to Param Gurudev Nitila Pravistam Vishnupada Stodra Sachi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Śrīla Narayan Gosvāmī Maharaj, Nitila Pravistam Vishnupada Stodra Sachi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Śrīla Vaman Gosvāmī Maharaj, to all Rupanuga Guru Varga, Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. So, by the causeless mercy of Sri Guru Gauranga, we have been reading Śrī Kṛṣṇa Karṇāmṛta with the commentaries of Śrīla Kṛṣṇadasa Kavirāja Gosvāmī. So today we are going to continue from text number 44. It goes as follows. Asrantasmitam arunadharustam harsardrat vigunamanukyavenugitam vipramyad vipula vilochandra mugdham vikshisheta Badanam Bhujankadanu. In which life will I see your lotus face, with its two red lips, with its eternal smile, with the attractive flute song which becomes doubly attractive because the warmth generated by its joy? That lotus face, pleasing with half glances from your wide, darting eyes? When Krishna's face, giving her message, manifests internally, she then begins to speaking to him with remorse, visad, and impatience, autsukya. Bhagavatam says, now Srimati Radhika is feeling separation of Krishna, and she is perceiving some spurtis in her heart. Then she is speaking. अस्यांघ्रि पंकजराजस्नपनं महान्तो वञ्चन्ति उमापतिरिवात्मा तमो पहयति यर्हि अम्बुजाक्षलभेय भावत्प्रसादं जह्यमसुन् व्रतकृष्णन् शतजन्मभिः स्यात्. O lotus-eyed one, great lords, great souls like Lord Shiva, hanker to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy their ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then, after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 52, sloka number 43. Then another Sinchangana Tatadha Adhara Mirta Puragina Hasavaloka kalakita cha hirchaya grim. No chitvayam virahajagni upayukta deha dhyanina yama padayo padavim sakhete. Dear Krishna, please pour the nectar of your lips upon the fire within our hearts, a fire you ignited with your smiling glances and the sweet song of your flute. If you do not, we will consign our bodies to the fire of separation from you, O friend, and thus, like yogis, attain to the abode of your lotus feet by meditation. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 29, Sloka number 36. O Krishna, no, I do not see your lotus face in this life. When will I see it in another life? That face is always smiling, ashrantam smitam. It has the song of the flute, doubly attractive, because it is warm with feeling, because the joy, that means harshadra, of giving me directions. That face is charming because of the half glances of your two white eyes, which move about to give me instructions. The internal meaning for Vilmamangal is similar to the previous verse. The external meaning is clear. Lilayatavhyam rasasitalabhyam nilarunabhyam nayanam bujabhyam alokayetabdhuta vibhramabhyam kale kada karunaika kishuraha. When will the young boy, full of mercy, see me with his lotus eyes, the conductor of pastimes, black in the center and red at the edge, cooling with karuna and madhur ras, astonishing in their movements? When Radha becomes depressed, the Sakis say, "Oh, he will come and see you. Then you will become strong." She then questions them with longing. That is depicted in this verse. When will that youth glance with his lotus eyes upon me? The phrase upon me should be added. The potential mood, that means alokayet, is used to show her desire. Or it can mean, now I am dying. When will he glance at me? She expresses despair. Those eyes are cooling with the streams of Sringar and Karuna Ras. They are endowed with redness at the edges and blackness in the pupils. Those eyes are astonishingly restless, like wag-tailed birds, that means Madeira. Because of their deep involvement in pastimes, the eyes seem to conduct the pastimes. If he sees me as an offender, will he give me up and leave? Considering this, she then speaks with humility, that means Dainya. He is so merciful, Karunaika. It is possible to see him by mercy. The internal meaning is, when will he see Radha? The external meaning is, when will glance with mercy. Bahala chikura bharam badha pichavatam sam chapala chapala netram charu bimbadharustam madhura mridula hasam mandarudara mirgayati nayanam me muktavesam murarehe. My eye searches for the charming abode known as Murari, with thick locks of hair, bound with a peacock feather and crown, with most restless eyes, beautiful red lips, a sweet, soft smile, and actions as disturbing as the turning of Mandara mountain. Radha again faints. "Oh friend, rise, look! Krishna has come." Hearing these words of comfort from her Sakis or friends, she opens her eyes with excitement, rises up and looks around. Not seeing him, she speaks to her friends. That is depicted in this verse. "Oh friends, Murari means the enemy of what is contemptible. This means that he is the most beautiful. My eye searches for the attractive abode called Murari. Please show it to me." How does it look? It has a weight of thick, that means pahala hair. It has a peacock feather and crown attached. It has eyes restless like fish. Bisvakos says Chapala means fish and quicksilver. He has a beautiful red lips, he has a sweet gentle smile, and the depth and disturbing nature of the house. The depth and disturbing nature of the house are described. It has great pastimes, like those of Mandara mountain. Just as the mountain agitated the milk, uh, sorry, just as the mountain agitated the milk ocean and extracted its jewels and other objects, Krishna will agitate our hearts and steal our steadiness and other qualities. That house is a cause of great disturbance. The internal meaning is, I desire to see the sweet house meant for their union. The external meaning is clear. Bahala jalada chaya chauram bilasa bharalasam mada sikhisi kavaliluttamsam manokya mukhambujam kamapi kamalapana gudagra prasanga jadam jagan madhurima paripako drekam vayam mrigayamahe. We search for the indescribable person who steals the beauty of dense clouds, who causes fear in the perfection of beauty, who stuns Lakshmi by the contact of his glance, who wears a crown with a proud peacock feather, whose lotus face is most radiant, who remains languid from excessive pastimes. He has come, but, joking with you, he is hiding in some bower. Come now and look for him. We will find him. Following the words of the Sakis, she searches for him along with them and wanders around. That means Srimati Radhika is now searching for Krishna. She asks questions to inanimate and animate objects. Imagining their questions, she answers. This scene is described in this verse. Why are you wandering around at night like an insane woman? With concealment, that means abhita. She replies, we are searching for some person, whose name we do not know, since he acts like a thief. But he can be recognized. If you see him, please tell us. That cheater is enjoying somewhere with some gopi. You should give up searching for him, since it is not important. She speaks with this respect and pride. He stuns and controls Lakshmi by contact with the intensity of his glances. What to speak of controlling us, cowherd girls? He enjoys us. Having stolen the jewel of our minds, he has departed. We ask, what should we do now? If you are cultured in Dharma, why do you criticize a thief? She then speaks, shaking her head while laughing. He has stolen the beauty of the thick clouds and its rainbow. What to speak of stealing the jewel of the minds of us girls? He causes great fear, that means udreka. In Cupid, the moon, the lotus, the swan, the deer, the fish and flower buds by his perfection of beauty. That means Madhurima Paripaka. He has stolen their beauty. Vishvakosh says that Madhura means lovely, tasty or dear. Vishvakosh also says Reka means discrimination, fear or a low caste man. If that is so, he will remain at distance. Why will he see you, since he is a thief? He has a crown with proud peacock feathers. He can be seen from far off, just by seeing the feather in his crown. So you chase him up. So you chase him, won't he run away? He cannot run quickly because he is tired from excessive indulgence. That means Vilasa Bharalasam. Will he not stay hidden in some thick dark bower? His lotus face is beautiful like a million moons. He will be seen because it's effulgence. Or there is another meaning. You will talk to him in Braj in the morning. Then you can grab your treasure. Forcibly, he may steal even your bodies at night. You should give up pursuing him at night. She then speaks, not mentioning her own name, but indicating this with indirect words. He stuns the best woman, that means Kamala, by the intense contact with his glances. What is impossible for him to do? According to Bhishma Kosh, the word Kamala means Lakshmi and the best woman. The internal meaning is as follows. It is a response to Sakis in the same condition as Bilbamangal. Oh friends, come, we will search for Krishna, who has caused such disturbance in Radha. Why should we talk to him in the night? 5 descriptive terms answer. If we find him, will he come? Radha controls his heart by the occasion, that means prasanga, of her glance. Hearing from us, he will come back. The external meaning is clear. Paramrisyam dure patipati muninam brajavadhu drisya drishyam sasvatribhuvan manohari badanam anamrisyam bacha muni samudayanam api kada dari drisya devam dalita nilutpalarucham. When will I see the performer of pastimes, with the complexion of a half-blooming blue lotus, whose face attracts the minds of the 3 worlds, who cannot be described by the greatest of the sages, who is inferred from afar by seeing the silent birds on the path, and who is seen by the eyes of the woman of Braj? After Radha sees him in a sudden appearance near a bower, he then disappears. She becomes agitated, and her Sakis comfort her by saying, "Why do you feel pain if you have seen him?" She then answers with this verse that is depicted here. Oh friends, when will I see the person indulging in play, that means devam? The intensive verb form, that means daridrishe, indicates her full desire. The cause of her desire is stated. His face attracts the whole world, and his complexion is like a slightly opened blue lotus. He cannot be touched by the words of the kings among great poets like Vyasadeva. It is impossible to speak of him because he is endowed with such beauty. Or there is another meaning. He is yours, for he is inside. Sometimes you will see him. Nakhalu gopika nandano bhavan akila dehinam antaratmadrik. Gopigit. You are not actually the son of the Gopi Yasoda, oh friend, but rather the indwelling witness in the hearts of all embodied souls. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 31, sloka number 4. But that is difficult. He cannot be touched even by the words of sages. If that is so, why do you want to see him? He is visible to the eyes of us, women of Braj, constantly. This means they constantly desire him. It indicates longing. You will see him in time. No. Where is he to be obtained? He is over there. She then relates his location. The birds on the path have become silent, like sages, that means muninam, because of being stunned and losing consciousness on seeing Krishna. There's something interesting here in this sloka. Nakalu gopika nandano bhavan akila dehinam antaratmadrik. Here the gopis are telling, you are not the son of the Gopi Yasoda, O friend, but rather you are the indwelling witness in the heart of all embodied souls. That means they are telling, you are not the son of Yasoda, but you are Paramatma. But the gopis actually, they don't have any Aishvarya Bhav towards Krishna, because Aishvarya becomes covered by Madhurya Bhav. But actually, there are some occasions, special occasions, where this Aishvarya Bhav, it emerges and it increases the Madhurya Bhav of the gopis. There are 3 examples. One time, in Brahmar Git, Srimati Radhika started to speak. She started to say that, oh, Bumblebee, you should go away. We don't want to hear anything about Krishna. He's black inside and outside. We don't have any relation with him. Why? because he's a cruel person. I have heard from Brinda Devi that in his past life he was first, he cheated Bali Maharaj. He dressed himself like a dwarf and then he went to him. He asked for 3 steps and then he cheated him. Then, in another life, he killed one monkey. That means in Ram Lila he killed one monkey. And then he also disfigured the face of a woman that wanted to marry him. See how cruel is him. Then, in this life in Krishna Lila, he killed one woman. That means he killed Putana. So, how can we have any relation with this cruel person? Then there is another example that Gurudev gives. Sometimes when you boil some leaf in milk, sometimes the leaf goes down and sometimes it's under the milk. So sometimes goes up, down, sometimes goes up and down. And there is another example. When one lady is about to marry, when she's in the marriage ceremony, she rents some jewels. During the time of the ceremony, she's wearing the jewels, but when the ceremony is over, then she returns them back. So in these same 3 ways, sometimes in the Brajavasis, this Aishwarya Bhav appears. It's temporary and it's just increasing the Madhurya Bhav. It's not prominent. So we are going to continue. प्रायोवतम्ब विभागमुनयो वनिस्मिन् कृष्णेक्षितं दादुदितं कालवेणुगीतम् आरुह्य ये द्रुमभुजन् रुचिराप्रबालन् शृण्वन्ति मिलितदृशु विगत्यन्तवच. O mother, in this forest all the birds have risen onto the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna with closed eyes. They are simply listening in silence to the sweet vibrations of his flute, and they are not attracted by any other sound. Surely these birds are on the same level as great sages. Sorry, I'm remembering something more about this point that I was explaining, that sometimes Aishwarya Bhav appears in the heart of the gopis and the Brajavasis. So, Nanda Baba also in the last sloka, when he was speaking with Uddhav, he said, actually, why Krishna is not coming? Because he is Bhaktavatsala, he is so affectionate with his devotees. And I think all his devotees in Dwaraka are inviting him to take prasad at their house. And because they are so great devotees, he is not coming to us, because he is engaged in pleasing his devotees of Dwaraka. So I am praying that I should become the best devotee of Krishna. So is this normal? Is this normal that Nanda Baba is praying to become the best devotee of Krishna? No, this is because the Aishwarya Bhav sometimes arises in the heart of the Brajavasis, but it becomes covered by Madhurya. There is one tattva here that Aishwarya is the essence of Madhurya. Srila Gurudev explained that Aishwarya is the essence of Madhurya. What is the meaning of that? Without Aishwarya, there is no Madhurya. For example, there is one sloka here in Krishna Karṇāmṛta. Bilva Mangal Thakur is telling, Braje Prasidham Navanita Chauram. This is sloka. He's telling, I offer my pranams. To whom? To the thief of Vrindavan. In a normal condition, we will not praise a thief. We will not pay our Dandavat pranams to one thief. But here, Bilva Mangal Thakur is paying pranams to one thief. Why is this? Then another part of the sloka is telling, he is the Param Purush, he is the supreme person. So, if there is no this Aishwarya, if there is not this Bhagavatpa inside, then there is no Madhurya, because what Bhagavan does, it is sweet because he is Bhagavan, because there is this Aishwarya inside. But if some jiva is stealing that is not worshipable. But if Bhagavan does this, then it's very sweet. So Aishwarya is the base, is the base of Madhurya. Without Aishwarya, there is no Madhurya. But this Aishwarya becomes completely covered in Vrindavan, and they completely forget that Krishna is there, is Bhagavan, and they think Krishna is my beloved or he's my relative. I don't know if I'm explaining well that yes, Aishwarya is the base of Madhurya. It's inside. So let's continue. He is inferred, paramirsyam, from far off, by seeing where the birds in the trees are stand in the path. The internal meaning of Vilpamangal is a statement to the Sakis in the same condition. When will I directly see him again playing? That means Devam with Radha. the rest the rest is the same. The external meaning is a statement arising from mixed vyabhichari verbs. When will I see him? The cause is given. He has the luster of a half-opened blue lotus. He then speaks in despair. He is inferred to be the supreme controller, that means para, from far off by the sages. On considering, he then speaks with longing. He is seen by the eyes of women of Braj. I also will be able to see him by possessing such love. Then he speaks in despair again. I desire to the person who is not reached by the words of the sages. Oh, I am a fool. Then again he speaks with longing. His face attracts the three worlds. He is inferred by the sages from afar and is beyond words, but he is seen by the eyes of the woman of Braj to be the color of a blue lotus. This causes astonishment in him. Sloka number 49. लीलननाम्बुजन् अधीरं मुदिक्षमानं नर्माणि वेणु विपरिषु निवेशयन्तं दोलायमनानयनं नयनाभिरामं देवं कदानुदयितं व्यतिलोकयिष्ये. Oh, when will I see the dear sporting youth, a joy to the eyes, capriciously peering here and there, his eyes rolling in fear, with a lotus face, sending wordless messages, stuffing his flute holes with sacred hymns? This verse depicts Radha, questioning the Sakis with longing, with remembrance of Krishna at the previous meeting. Oh friends, that means no. When will I see him? When will I see my dear Krishna, who plays? That means Devam. He will see me in order to direct me to a bower. But when will I see him in order to tell him my acceptance? He has a lotus face endowed with many indirect, wordless indications, that means lila, overflowing with various sentiments. He is capricious, that means adhiram, looking here and there. Udiksamanam, directing me to a bower by moving his eye upward. He rolls his eyes in fear that others will understand what he is doing. He places messages for meeting me in the holes of his flute, which emerge as musical notes. He is joy to the eyes. The internal meaning is, he will see me in order to take Radha to the bower. When will I see him in order to inform him of her acceptance? The rest is the same. The external meaning has the sentiment, when will I receive his merciful glance? And when will I see him with wonder? लग्नं मुहुर्मनशीलं पता सम्प्रदाय लिखावलेहिनी रशक्यमनोक्यवेशं राजन्मृदुस्मितमृदुलासिताधरंशु रागिन्दुलालितमुखिन्दमुकुन्दबाल्यम्. The youthfulness of Mukunda, having an appearance attractive to knowers of Ras, with the rays from his lips glowing softly with a tender smile of love, with moon-like face worshipped by the full moon, is stuck in my mind, which relishes a deity in the line of debauchees. By merging her mind and all her senses in the ocean of his sweetness, Radha again enters into a state of moha, that means loss of awareness. The Sakis pacify her, saying, "O friend, forget him for a moment and be happy." She then speaks of her attachment to him. That is described in this verse. The youthfulness or fickleness, that means Valium of Mukunda, who has a smile like jasmine flower on his face, that is Mukha, is stuck in my mind, like color permeating cloth. What should I do? Then withdraw it from him and place it somewhere else. That is not under my control. What is the fault of this low person by which I have attained this state? He has the attractive dress of knowers of wrath. The rays from his lips glow softly with a tender smile tinged with love. That means Rajan. This can be a separate clause or a modifier of the next statement. He has a moon-like face shared by the full moon. The internal meaning is a statement to the Sakis in the same condition. My mind is attached to the fickleness of a youth displayed in the bower with Radha. The external meaning is a statement to his associates on the way to Vrindavan. That means the meaning of Bilba Mangal Thakur. Ahima kara kara nikara mirdu mudita lakshmi Sarasatara Sarasiruha Sadrisha Drishi Deve Braja Yuvati Rati Kalaha Vijayi Nija Nila Mada Mudita Vadana Shashi Madhuri Mani Ye. I am absorbed in that playful boy with a moon-like face, joyful with pride because of his victory in pastimes of love quarrels with the woman of Braj, whose eyes are like lotuses fresh with good qualities, slightly blooming in the rays of the morning sun. Bewildered by absorption of her mind in Krishna and fearing death again, she then speaks to her friends in 3 verses, saying, "Such a person as this has association with you." In this verse, she speaks with her mind absorbed in a sudden appearance of Krishna's sweetness in relation to her, involving arguing, love, playful and direct speech, embraces, obstinacy, and pulling their bodices, while she pretends to repulse his advances. That means Kutamita. I am absorbed, that means Liye, in Krishna, who indulges in attractive pastimes, that means Deve, with a desire for victory. The modifiers explain why she is absorbed. It is because he is an ocean of sweetness. How is he described? He has a sweet moon-like face, joyful with pride. That means Mada. Because of his conquest pastimes, that means Vijay Nijalila, of stealing kisses and pulling your bodices playfully, which produce love quarrels with you, young woman of Braj. His eyes are like lotuses, fresh with a wealth of qualities like coolness, fresh with beauty, that means Lakshmi, and they are slightly opened, that means Mirdu Muditam, by the array, that means Nikara, of early morning sunbeams, that means Ahimkarakara. The woman who repulses her lover, Kutamita, is described. Stanadharadi grahane hirpritapapi sambhramat bahi krodho vyatitavat pruktam kutamitam budhei. The wise define Kutamita as a woman's external anger with agitation because of confusion directed to the lover when he tries to touch her breast or lips. Ujjwal Nilamani 1149. The internal meaning is I am absorbed in Krishna, who is absorbed in pastimes with Radha. The external meaning is clear. Karakamala Karakamala Kalita Lalita Ravamshi Kala Ninada Galat Amirta Khana Sarasidevi Sahajara Sabhara Bharita Dara Hasita Vithi Satatavaha Tathara Mani Madhurimani Liye. I am merging into Krishna, absorbed in his pastimes, a thick lake of liquid nectar coming from the sound of his flute, which murmurs and trembles in the petal of his lotus hand, who has sweetness in his ruby lips, which are constantly permeated with streams of slight smiles laden with natural nectar. Thinking that she has merged into Krishna's sweetness by a sudden appearance of his previous hints made by the sound of the flute and his smile, she speaks. I am merging into Krishna, absorbing his pastimes. That means Deve. This is similar to the previous verse. How is he described? He is a thick lake of oozing nectar, composed of the sounds of his flute, murmuring, that means Kalita, and tremulous, that means Lalitar, in the petal of his lotus hand. He has the sweetness in his ruby lips, constantly spread with streams or paths, that means vidhi, of his slight smile filled with an abundance of natural nectar. The internal meaning is the same as the previous verse. The external meaning is clear. Kushumasara Sara Samara Kupita Mada Gopi Kuchakalasa Kushrina Rasalashatura Sideve Madamudita Mirduhasita Mushita Sashi Shobha Muhuradika Mukha Kamala Madhuri Mani Liye. I am sorry. I am absorbed in the playful youth whose chest shines with saffron from the pot-like breasts of the love-intoxicated gopis, angry during love battles after being struck by Cupid arrows. I am absorbed in the youth, the sweetness of whose lotus face increases at every moment with beauty and with a gentle smile, which captivates the moon and is joyful with the intoxication of love. This verse describes Radha speaking while thinking herself absorbed in Krishna, with an appearance of his sweetness just after enjoyment with him. I am absorbed in Krishna, involved in his pastimes. This is the same as the previous verse. How is he described? His chest is shining with saffron paste from the pot-like breasts, stuck there by receiving embrace of the gopis, intoxicated with the liquor of love, that means Mada, and angry in the love battle, by being struck with cupids, that means Kushuma Sara arrows, that means Sara. She gives a general statement about the gopis instead of herself because of her cleverness. He has a sweetness in his lotus face which increases at every moment in its beauty, which captivate the moon, and by its gentle smiles, which are joyful, that means modita, with love's intoxication, that means mada, from a show of Krishna's boldness. Or he has a sweetness in his lotus face constantly increasing by beauty, which captivates the moon by his gentle smile. The internal meaning is the same as the previous verse. The external meaning is clear. Okay, one more slok. Anamram Sita Bhrugurupachita Makshina Paksman Kuresu Alulam Anuraginor Nayanor Ardrim Murdo Jalpite Atamram Adharamirte Madakalam Amlana Vamsi Spanesu Asate Mamalochanam Brajasishor Murtim Jagan Mohinim. My eye desires to see that form which bewilders the world, which is crooked, with black eyebrows, flourishing with sprouts of thick eyelashes, and steady with love-struck eyes, soft with gentle speech, intensely red with sweet lips, intoxicating with the pure notes of the flute. Radha then faints, and she is revived by the Sakis, falls in the ground because of the manifestation of his sweetness, and, out of great impatience, closes her eyes. She then speaks to them. That is depicted in this verse. Oh, my eye desires to see the form of the youth of Braj, that means Brajasishu, even in my wretched state. What fault is there in doing this, since he attracts the whole world? The reason is given. The form has crooked in its black eyebrows. It flourishes with the sprouts of this sorry. It flourishes with the sprouts of his thick eyelashes. The form is restless, with excellent thick eyebrows, which are like two bound cocktails, that means kanjana, birds desiring to fly away. The form is soft, with gentle speech. It is intensely red, with sweet lips. It is intoxicating, that means madakalam, because of the clear notes of the flute. Intoxicating means that the flute is deep with emissions of the liquor of love, or that it increases the intoxication of love. The internal meaning and the external meanings are easy to understand. Okay, last one. तत्कैशुरं तच्चा वक्त्रारविन्दं तत्करुण्यां तच्छलीलकटाक्षः तत्सौन्दर्यं सचा चन्द्रस्मितश्रीः सत्यं सत्यं दुर्लभं दैवते अपि. His youthfulness, his lotus face, his compassion, his playful glances, his beauty, and the wealth of his profound smiles are rare, even for all the devatas. It is true, it is true. After the manifestation of his sweetness in the previous three verses, Radha is now depicted as lamenting out of despondency at not attaining Krishna. That is depicted in this verse. His youthful form and his lotus face are truly very rare, even for all the devatas situated from Svarga to Vaikuntha. And his mercy and his playful glances are also most rare. And his beauty of there is one error here. And his beauty and the beauty of his deep smile are most rare. Or, after thinking that seeing him again and having private pastimes with him will be rare, her left thigh, eye, and breast begin to twitch. She then speaks, while revealing faith with despair. O good fortune, which has produced a meeting with him, that means Deva. Even for you, that means Te Api. His youth, his lotus face, meeting him are rare. That means even for you, his youth, his lotus face, and meeting him are rare. There's some. You should not say that seeing him is rare, even for good fortune. She replies, but it is true, meeting him is very rare. If it is rare for you to see him, how much more it will be rare for low people like us, controlled by fate? If seeing him is rare, then that compassion by which he gave up all others and enjoyed with me alone, and his playful glances, by which he inspired me secretly, are even more rare. If that is so, his beauty after amorous enjoyment and the deep beauty of his smile after seeing me dressed up for special dalliance are most rare. The internal meaning describes all the items of Krishna, that means Tat, who is sporting with Radha. The external meaning depicts a statement to his associates who tell him to see the deities of Vitala and Ranganath in order to assuage his despondency. Daiva refers to things related to Narayan and other forms, such as the deity forms. His youth and other qualities are rare, even for all the deities, but they also are eternally youthful. He then describes how Krishna is the agitator of even Cupid with his other qualities, such as playful glances and compassion. The rest is the same. So we are going to stop here for today, and we will continue from tomorrow from text 56. So that's all for today. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpataruscha Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.